All right, folks, in the shop again. We got some crazy winds today for some reason. It's been mild the entire week, and I'm looking at 20 to 25 mile an hour winds right now. So I'm in here strictly because of the audio, so I'm sorry if there's a little bit of an echo, but it's even worse when I'm outside the shop because of the wind noise. But anyways, I am here with the PWS MK218 MOD 1M. For the folks that didn't know, MK218, the 18 stands for the barrel length. The reason why I'm saying this is every time I post up videos or I post up pictures of these rigs, people want to know the barrel length. MK218, 18-inch barrel, all right? This is chambered in 6.5 creedmoor. We have the Vortex Venom 5 to 25 on here. It's a 34 millimeter ring with a 56 millimeter ejective, and we got the Bauer Precision mount. Vortex throw lever on here. Originally, you guys seen it with the Razor 1 to 10. I ran it for a while like that. I have 3 1 to 10s, but I just personally felt like it was a better optic on the MK116 that we'll be talking about here pretty soon. So I said, you know what, we need to put the 1 to 10 on the 308 16-inch, and we'll put the Venom on the MK218, all right? We have the YHM Resonator R2 with the dead air chemo quick mount. We have an Atlas bipod on here. We have a CMC 2.5 pound single stage. Everything on the inside, the barrel, everything is PWS. This is a long stroke system. It's a piston driven rig. And we have the Magpul PRS Gen 2. All right. I am not a big fan of these stocks. I'm not. They're huge. All right. And I hunt. I'm real mobile at night, and it's just not a very comfortable rig for what I'm doing. But I'll explain to you guys why I have it on this rig. So, my initial thoughts when I took this thing out of the box, I was like, holy bleep. I'm trying not to cuss here, but it's just a solid big rig. It feels like something that's ready to go out and work, you know? It's nothing that you look at it and you just think automatically that it's going to be able to handle all the elements, it's going to handle the abuse, it's going to run. That's what it feels like when I opened it. Shot it a lot, hunted with it a lot. A lot of the footage that you guys seen with the Bolt TL35 was with this rig. It's extremely accurate. I know a lot of people want to see groups. I apologize. I zero these things and I go hunt. I don't zero my rigs and go long range. I don't zero my rigs and go compete. I just get my rigs dialed in and I go look for pigs and coyotes. And the last thing on my mind is groups, and I apologize. I know some people are gonna throw a fit about it, but it is what it is. I know the damn thing's a shooter. Because every time I go for them precise headshots that I want, that's where the bullet goes. And even when it's time to zero, I'm just stacking them. At first I used Grind Hard's 122 grain controlled chaos. They came out with a heavier round, which was a 131, which I thought shot a lot better out of this rig. Of course, you know, some people, if you know anything about 6.5 creedmoor, weight helps, you know, so like 131s, the 140s, the 147s. I have some 140s that I haven't used in it. The 147 ELDs I usually use on some other bolt guns when I'm trying to really go long range and have those nice precise shots. But anyways, I'm using Grind Hard ammunition right now. 131s, and it's running really good. Feeding really good. I'm not having any type of issues with feeding. Now, some of the issues that I'm having is because I'm running suppressed. I'll talk about that. All right, so some of the issues that I was having suppressed was over-gassing. The rig was over-gassed. Shouldn't be an issue with PWS, right? We got the 3-position gas block up here. It's a piston-driven rig. It's really designed to run suppressed. You know, like it's a really good suppressed rig. I have never had issues out of my AR platform, the AR-15 platforms from PWS, like the 762x39, the 300 blackouts, the 223s. Even the 308, I really didn't have issues with overgassing because I was able to do my adjustments with the gas block. Position 1 is really good for if you're not shooting suppress. Sometimes it runs really good in position 1. 2 is for suppress, and then 3 if you're running subs. I think that's exactly how it is in the instruction manual. I can't remember, but I'm rarely in the 3rd position. So anyways, I get the MK218 and 6.5 creedmoor, and I throw a suppressor on it, and my rounds are just dumping in the 1 o'clock position, like aggressively. And I knew this thing was overgassed. So I was like, you know what? Maybe she likes position 3. So I put it in position 3, and maybe 2 o'clock, still overgassed. So make this quick. I did some different experiments with different buffer weights. I even tried different suppressors. Of course, the OSS just ran fine, but not everybody is running an OSS suppressor. So I just really want to know what's going on here with this back pressure, you know? So I'm playing around with this, and for the folks that don't know, this is a proprietary design with the piston system. So I just can't throw, let's say a JP VMOS or VMOS bolt carrier group in here. You can't do that because of the gas key is built in with the actual rod that runs back and forth in here. So you really got to stick with the BCG that the PWS comes with. So I tried different buffer weights. I wasn't having any good success with that. I tried a heavier spring to slow down the rate, and I started having some function. The rig wasn't reliable, it wasn't functioning correctly. So I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and try a rifle length buffer system. These rigs come with a carbine length buffer system. And I think just from my little experiment here, and I've also had some coworkers that ran the rifle length as well on their PWSs, on the bigger calibers, and it made a difference. So I said, you know what, let's try the PRS Gen 2. Threw the PRS Gen 2 on here with a standard spring and a standard buffer, that long goofy looking one. I'll pull it out real quick. Finally got it out of the rig. But here we talk, this is the buffer system, the buffer spring and buffer weight that I was talking about out of the rifle length setup that I have. And I found out running this way, the rig is a little bit more reliable, and it isn't overgassed. I'm not gonna say overgassed, but the ejection pattern is a lot better, okay? I turned into a little, the ejection pattern, I got really snobby with that over time. I don't know if you guys remember my Bauer Precision build, the FDE one. I was fighting a lot with gases with that rig, and finally when I got it dialed in where I want it, I was really picky about that. So now when I'm watching other people's videos and I'm seeing guns run suppressed, I pay attention to the ejection patterns. I don't know, it's just something that I pay attention to. But anyways, with the rifle length spring and buffer now, and you're gonna see here in this video, I'm gonna shoot it, you guys will see the ejection pattern. It stays in the 2:30 to 3 o'clock position, and it's very consistent there, and the rig runs reliably there. So I'm gonna leave this setup alone. I don't see myself really hunting with it much at night just because of the sheer size. I forgot the full length on this. I actually have a measuring tape here in the shop. We'll get measuring a full measurement on here and show you guys the full length of it, and also shoot it. That way you guys can see how it runs. All right, let's get a measurement here. Full length from the end of the stock all the way to the end of the suppressor. 46 inches exactly. 46 inches exactly. That is almost 4 foot. And guys, you know, it's a great rig. It's a great shooter. But you got to understand that I'm getting in and out of buggies. I'm jumping fences. I'm having to carry this thing with a tripod. Once you add a suppressor on here, it can be 5 to 8 inches long, depending on what type of suppressor you're using, ammunition, optics. This starts to turn into a really big rig, all right? And that is the only downside to this system, is the sheer size of it. If you're wanting it as a primary hunting rig, you probably want to think twice about that just because of its size. I don't think you're going to want to carry it all the time. I have options, all right? So I got different rigs that I can switch out. I got bow guns, I got pistols. I can run whatever I want, but if you're looking at this rig as your primary hunting rig, you need to pay attention to the size of this thing, because once you start adding all this stuff to it, it really starts to add up. I know for a fact that the way it's set up with ammunition right now, we're pushing 15 pounds. We're pushing 15 pounds, and there's gonna be a lot of people out there that's gonna cry about that. I don't. I actually hunted with it, and it wasn't that bad, but it's not my primary hunting rig. I'm always switching rigs, so it won't be my primary hunting rig, but I will hunt with it. I think it'd be a great daytime rig. If you're in a deer blind, you got a platform set up, you know, you just want to get a quick kill in, this would be a great rig. I think I'm going to do some coyote hunts with it this fall as well. But I got a lot of confidence behind this rig, and I've shared a lot of that content over on IG as well. So I just wanted to share that with you about the size of it. There was something else that I wanted to chat about, and I can't remember right now. I'm just going to share the shooting clip real quick. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it's a good shooter. I really do enjoy that. That was actually 300 yards. I know for a fact that this rig will go to distance, and we will go to distance whenever I get a little bit more comfortable with the setup and the conditions are a little bit better. And we'll send it out there. But I know for a fact right now, if I went 700 yards, you guys wouldn't even hear the audio from the feedback from the steel because of this wind. It's horrendous right now. But anyways, I'm fully aware that this rig is not going to be for everybody. Not a lot of people out there are a fan of 6.5 Creedmoor. That's fine. I'm not going to sit there and say it's the best caliber in the world, because I know it's not. But it's great. It's a great option. I have options and I use it, you know, and it does really well on pigs. I've shared that on IG, and I've shared that with the TL35 footage that I shared recently. It's a great rifle, and PWS doesn't need me to hype things up for them. The product speaks for itself. It's not as sexy as the Mod 2s. It's a pretty simple looking rig. But what's going on the inside and also with their barrels is what matters the most. And it shows. And I've seen it. It's extremely reliable. And I think that's what matters the most at the end of the day. Is this rig going to be reliable? And yes, it can be. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I haven't shot it without a suppressor. I'm turning into a little snob now that I got my hands on suppressors, but I will not run a rig without a suppressor now. But once you figure out what you want to do with the buffer system and running suppress, you're gonna see a difference. I've chatted with a few people in the past, especially with the MK107. We're gonna talk about that here in the future. I don't wanna drag this video out any longer, but with the MK107, I ended up going from an H2 to an H4. When I went to the H4 and the MK107, it runs like a sewing machine, and it's coming out at 3, 4 o'clock consistently. And it made a huge difference going from the H2 to the H4. So whenever you're running suppress, always play around with different buffer weights and buffer systems to try to figure out what the rifle likes, how it's gonna react to it with that suppressor that you have paired up to it. You gotta experiment. Some rigs do fine right out of the box. Some rigs do fine with certain suppressors, but this one needed a little bit of tuning with the buffer system. That was the only thing that I had to do with it. CMC 2.5 pound single stage runs really good out of it. You heard it in the audio. I mean, the reset was louder than the actual shot. I mean, this joker runs. But again, like I said, it won't be for everybody, but there's people out there that have interest in the AR-10s. I know people can't stand hearing AR-10, but I want to say it. AR-10, chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. I know I didn't go over a lot of the technical details and information because that stuff is online. I just wanted to give you guys feedback from the field, you know. I don't look at myself as one of those YouTube reviewers that are getting in depth and all this technical stuff. Nah, I just want to share with you guys exactly what I'm experiencing when I'm out here hunting pigs and coyotes. I'm not a competitive shooter. I don't want to be a competitive shooter. I don't want to be a professional shooter. I'm just a guy that likes to hunt and hunt with really nice guns. And this PWS is one fine gun. I really do enjoy it. But I'll be honest with you, a rig that I think I'm going to hunt with a lot at nighttime will be the MK116, and that's the one you guys will probably see here pretty soon. I got to get some footage up for you guys with the Otter Creek's Lab PR30L, and then we'll probably get to the PWS MK116 in 308. All right, that joker is pretty sweet, and I'm probably going to end up using the same lower with the PRS instead of buying another PRS for it because I've noticed that it runs really good with the that rifle length buffer system. Also, we have the PWS MK111 in 223. And guys, I've done some videos on my Santan build. You guys remember that? The 10.5 inch CMC barrel rig with the OSS suppressor. That joker was badass. But this PWS MK111 suppress is a different little beast. And I haven't even hunted with it yet. I want to hunt with it, shoot it a little bit more, and get some footage up for you guys and get you guys some feedback on that, because I thought the MK116 and 223 was my little gem. I don't know about that now. I think the MK111 and 223 is probably going to be my little gem. That thing is something else. But anyways, I just wanted to get you guys some feedback on this rig. Again, I apologize if you didn't hear what you wanted to hear, but I'm just letting you know now that you can't go wrong with this rig. Unfortunately, they're not easy to get. I'm fully aware of that, and I know a lot of people are throwing a fit out there, and I had some people cuss me out. I was like, hey man, it's not my fault, all right? It's obvious I have a relationship with PWS. I'm sorry, but this relationship goes back, and I would love to share that story with you guys, but I'm not gonna drag this out. But it's a pretty cool little story, and I'm glad it worked out because these rifles are the shit. Oh man, anyways, I'll see you guys soon. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get some video up here pretty soon, and with the PR30L, and then hopefully we can get the MK116 and 308 up for you guys. I will see you in the next video.